All right. Hello, creative writers. Professor Hodges. I just thought I would make a video to introduce myself a little bit, talk a little bit about what's on Canvas for this week. I would suggest you start on the Canvas site, read the welcome, download the syllabus, read it carefully, and please contact me if you have any questions. You should have the ability to post comments on either announcement. So I would prefer that you send questions about any announcement on Canvas on the actual announcement. That way other students can see the question in my response, giving us almost the vibe of an actual classroom. When someone asks a question in class, it's sort of like that. So that would be cool, step one. And then after that, we want to dive into the modules. I just want to repeat, I do think I wrote this in one of the announcements. This being an asynchronous class, it does require you guys to be, self-motivated, working on it. There's no way for me to remind you every day to get all this work done. So there's a lot of reading to start this week. There's just a lot to get covered for a week. So in addition to the reading, there will be a quiz, or there is a quiz in the module. I think I had just posted a file accidentally the other day, so I updated that. You'll see that that's now an assignment that you can respond to. One quick note about the quiz, which actually makes me glad that I have that before I have fixed that before I made this video, is that the final question of every quiz is going to be, what questions do you have on the reading? It's really important. It is a points-bearing question. In other words, you have to have a question or you will lose points on that. Saying that you understand the reading and have no questions at this time will lose you points. The idea here is to try to get you into the mindset of reading your texts in a questioning mindset. Literacy isn't a thing you have or don't. It's kind of a spectrum. So you can improve your literacy by improving vocab and improving reading comprehension, but that only gets you so far. To become really highly literate, you need to be a critical reader, which requires you to have questions about texts. Why is it organized the way it is? What do they mean by this particular concept? When we read stories, why does it begin where it does? Why does it end where it does? In fact, the Cardos reading gives you some really great ideas for questions when looking at short stories. So yes, we'll be writing short stories this semester. Speaking of which, I'm a published novelist and short story writer, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. So anyways, that's the gist of that. You'll also see, in addition to not forgetting to have a question on the quiz, that there's an observation exercise, sort of meant to get our writing juices flowing a little bit. We don't have any story due yet for you to write. We'll talk about that more next week. But this observation exercise, you guys have all week to do it. I see someone already posted one. It looks like they put some work into it. That's cool. But if we could try to take our time on these, I don't know, I might make a posting window that's later in the week if I have to. But I would like you guys to spend some time on them. There's a two-parter, so please do both parts of this observation exercise. Just kind of, first of all, just looking at stuff, trying to look at things in new ways is a really great tool of any creative, any genre, any medium. So I do want you to try to use some similes and metaphors to try to describe things. I want you to try to find 10 different things you can describe using figurative language just as you walk around during the week, travel around during the week. Try to see things and try to look at them differently. So I want you to kind of take some time. You might want to get a little notebook, jot things down, or if you want to do I don't know what, some kind of note on your phone, whether you record it or write it down. But all of it should go into a document that you can upload to Canvas. Also, you should put your name on the file, but also on the document itself, like to see the name when I open the file and not have to go back and look at the file name while I have the document open to figure out who the heck I'm looking at. So if you could put the names in those two places, that'd be awesome. Awesome. And then, of course, the second part here, also important, not to just be looking at things. I want you to try to listen to things in new ways. Describe, as it says, 5 sounds as if nobody has ever heard them before. And then I think one of the more fun things is to try to listen to some interesting, overheard speech, overheard conversations. Could be somebody walking by you on the phone and you only hear half of it. Or, I don't know, I was just sitting on a park bench with a friend the other day, and some people walk by, they say some really weird things. So, don't be a creep, don't go overtly eavesdropping on people. But as you walk around your world, or if you want to sit somewhere for a little while, really take your time on this. I want you to record several snippets of conversation that you think are interesting, like really interesting, not just people talking about what's for lunch or what they're about to do, what movie they're going to go see. People say weird things when it's out of context. So then the second part of that is to imagine the context. Write a little, I don't know, just a tiny little scene or something. Imagine what they said just before that led to that weird statement, or what was the response the other person was about to give that you did not hear. So it's a creative assignment. You're making things up. You're lying about what they could have been saying. So try to have fun with that. Maybe it's something wild. Who knows what they might have been talking about if it's a really weird, out of context comment. So main thing though, other than the readings and trying to understand them and filling out the answers to the quiz, which I try to make easy, it is obviously open text. I would recommend you have the file open while you do the reading. Other than that reading, there's this observation exercise. I would like you guys to try to have fun with this stuff. It's a creative writing class after all. So next week we'll start talking more about maybe drafting a short story. But for now, I just want you to get your feet under you, do these readings. The quiz kind of proves to me you did the readings, and then work on this observation exercise. And you have until the end of the week. So no rush, but also, don't probably procrastinate on these. I think you might want to work a little bit every day on all of these things to get them done without feeling pressure. It's, again, supposed to be kind of fun. So my email address is on the syllabus. That's the best way to reach me. Please don't use Canvas to reach out. Just use Canvas to submit documents. And again, if you want to reply to any announcements, that's different. But if you have any questions about anything in general that I haven't made an announcement about, you have my email on the syllabus. Please feel free to use it, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can about that. All right, well, good luck this week, you guys, and try to have some fun.